So yesterday we were talking about active passive voice. Today again we will start that chapter. The chapter with where we have left the chapter, we are starting from there only. Fine. So actually what we have discussed yesterday, how much we have discussed yesterday. We have discussed what is the difference between active sentences and passive sentences, and I hope that you people are, it is clear to you now that what kind of sentences are called active sentences and what kind of sentences are called passive sentences. If it is clear to you, we are moving ahead. Fine. Can I ask you some questions? As like if I am writing, my father goes to office. If you are saying pizza is always made by my sister. If I am saying my brother always give me a gift. The prize has been received by my friend. See, 4 sentences I have written on board. My father goes to office. First we are focusing on the first sentence. Fine. My father goes to office. Can you see who is doing the work?
Yes, ma'am.
Who is doing the work?
Ma'am, father.
My father. So the person or the doer of the work, the person who is doing the work, the subject who is doing the work, that subject, that person is at an important position. Fine. That's why this kind of sentence is, what kind of sentence this is? Active or passive?
Ma'am, active.
It is an active sentence. Fine. Because the person who is doing the work, that is doing the work actually, that is not receiving the work. Fine. Now concentrate on the second one. Concentrate on the second sentence. Pizza is always made by my sister. What kind of sentence is it is? Who
Ma'am,
is doing the work? You just concentrate who has made the pizza.
Ma'am, sister.
Sister. But is the sister at an important position? Is the sister at an important position, or she
No,
is
ma'am.
doing the work, or she is receiving the work? You just concentrate. She is doing the work
Ma'am.
or she is receiving the work? Yes? She is actually receiving the work.
Ma'am, receiving.
Yes. That's why this kind of sentence will be called passive sentence. Fine. This is active sentence. This is passive sentence. Now come to the next one. My brother always give me a gift. Sorry. It is give. My brother always give me a gift. Who is doing the work of giving a gift? Who is doing the work? Yes? I'm waiting for reply. My brother. My brother is doing the work. That's why he is subject and he is the doer of the sentence. And
Ma'am, this type of sentence is active.
sorry, repeat please. My brother always gives me a gift. So you can say that because it is the work of giving a gift is done by my brother. That's why it will be called, and my brother is at an important position. That's why this sentence will be called active sentence. Fine. Next one is the prize has been received by my friend. Yes. Because my friend who is receiving the prize, who is doing the work of receiving, that is at the
Ma'am,
last
passive voice.
position in the end of the sentence, and he is actually receiving the work which is done. That friend is receiving the work. That's why this kind of sentence will be called what? Passive or active? It is
Ma'am, passive.
passive sentence. Only this much we have discussed yesterday, that what kind of sentences will be called active sentences and what kind of sentences will be called passive sentences. This much we have discussed yesterday. Now we will discuss, I will explain how the sentences of how the active sentences are transformed into passive sentences. Fine. So you should see or concentrate on the topic. Transformation of active sentences.
मैम इसका आपने एक पॉइंट पढ़ा दिया था.
हाँ जी, into passive sentences. Transformation of active sentences into passive sentences. What rules should be followed? What kind of rules should be followed while changing the active sentences into passive sentences? There are 5 basic rules actually. 5 basic rules which should be followed while transforming the active sentences into passive sentences. 5 basic rules. Okay. First basic rule is subject and object should be interchanged. Subject and object should be interchanged. They should change their position. Fine. Subject will come at object place, object will come at subject place. This was the first one. I will give you so many examples also that you can understand. Fine. First we are discussing the basic rule, then we will go to the examples also. Second thing, be form. Be form will be used. What is be form? First form of be is, am and are. Second form of be is was or were. Third form of be is been. Fine. Then we are changing active sentences into passive sentences. Whenever we are changing active sentences into passive sentences, always and always be form will be used in each and every kind of passive sentence. Passive sentence में हमेशा always be की कोई ना कोई सी फॉर्म यूज करनी है, आपको करना ही है. Fine. It can be is, it can be am, it can be are, it can be was, it can be were, it can be been, or sometimes be itself. Sometimes we use be itself. अगर इनमें से कोई नहीं आया है तो we have to use be. Fine. So we have to use one by one. We have to use at least one form of be. Third rule, that verb's third form is used. Always in each kind of passive sentences we use only and only third form of verb. Every kind of passive sentence, whether it is of past, whether it is of present, whether it is of past continuous, present continuous, present perfect, past perfect, whatever it is. All the tenses, in all the tenses we have to use only and only verb's third form. Fine. Fourth rule, by preposition is used. By preposition is used before by preposition before object. And fifth rule, the subject which was there, it becomes object. Subject becomes object. अब आपको example देते हैं हम. I'll give you so many examples. These 5 basic rules are written here. 5. Fine. We will discuss one by one according to these rules. According to these rules, we will take so many examples of each and every tense actually. Of each and every tense, I will give you an example and we will learn to know, we will discuss, I will explain that how we are changing them. Fine. So, first of all, we are changing simple present tense. See, simple present. This is as like my mother cooks food. Cooks food. This is the example of simple present. Now, these 5 basic rules we should keep in mind. This is the sentence. First of all, what should we do? What should we do? We should change subject and object according to our first rule. Fine. According to our first rule, we should identify. सबसे पहले हमें आइडेंटिफाई करना है, सर्च करना है कि हमारा सब्जेक्ट क्या है और ऑब्जेक्ट क्या है. Here we are identifying what is subject and what is object. So can you please tell me what is the subject here? Yes.
Mother.
My mother. Only I think I am just telling or teaching to Janvi. Where are the remaining ones?
Ma'am, only 2 students are there.
Very good. So, my mother cooks food. Fine. So, in this sentence we are having subject and object both. Fine. My mother is the subject and food is the object. Now, according to the basic rule, first basic rule, we are changing their place. We are changing their place. Subject will be taken to the end and object will be taken to the starting of the sentence. So, we are using that only. Food. We have brought food in the starting. Fine. Now, the second rule, be form will be used. Be form will be used. And if it is food, with food, as we are having simple present tense. Simple present tense and B का first form हमारे पास is MR है. Fine. So which form of verb should be used here?
Ma'am, is.
M or R?
Ma'am, is.
Is. Because food is called a singular thing.
Yes, ma'am.
However, it can contain salad, it can contain chapati, it can contain rice, it can contain pulses, it can contain curd also. But that complete unit will be called food. Fine. इसमें बहुत सारे आइटम्स हैं लेकिन कंप्लीट यूनिट जो है वो फूड बोला जाएगा और इसे हम एक ही सिंगल यूनिट मानते हैं. That's why we will use food is. So second rule we have used. Now we are coming to the third rule of third basic rule, that will be verb's third form. Third form of verb. What is our verb here? This is
Ma'am,
cook. Cook is cook is verb and cook का third form. That will
Ma'am,
be
cooked.
cooked. Cooked. Fine. Now fourth basic rule, by preposition before object. So we are again using
Ma'am, by.
and before object. देखिए यहाँ पर my mother was subject, it has become object now. So we will make it an object. My mother. Is the sentence clear? That how
Yes,
did we
ma'am.
change it? Is it clear to you? How did we change the active sentence into passive sentences while using these 5 basic rules? These should be kept in mind. You will be able to change of each and every tense. Fine. Now we are taking an example of simple past. Simple past. Fine. I bought a mobile yesterday. This is simple past example. How can we say that this is simple past? How can we identify that this is simple past? How? कैसे identify करते हैं? Because we are using second form here. Fine. This is the identification that we are using simple past, and here we are using yesterday also. Yesterday is an example of simple past. Fine. So that is called. Again we are going to the 5 basic rules. First basic rule, subject will be changed into object place, object will be brought at subject's place. So first of all we should identify what is the subject actually. Which one is the subject? Yes.
Ma'am,
I is the subject. Fine. And what is object?
Mobile.
A mobile. This is an object. Fine. So we are shifting that in the end and we are bringing this mobile in the starting. A mobile. Okay. A mobile. Now, is it a singular thing or a plural thing?
ma'am, singular.
Singular thing. And because it is past tense, that's why we have to use second form of
Was.
second form of be.
Yes, ma'am.
फर्स्ट रूल हमने फॉलो कर दिया कि हमने ऑब्जेक्ट को उठाकर स्टार्टिंग में ले आए. नाउ वी आर मूविंग टू द सेकंड रूल, सेकंड बेसिक रूल कि बी की फॉर्म यूज करनी है. अब यू शुड अंडरस्टैंड व्हिच फॉर्म ऑफ बी शुड बी यूज्ड हियर. इफ वी आर हैविंग ऑलरेडी वी आर हैविंग सेकंड फॉर्म, इट मींस was और were में से कुछ यूज करेंगे. was और were में से. And here we are having a single thing, that's why we will use was.
Ma'am, was.
Just a second. Yes, we will use was. Now we are moving to the third basic rule, that is verb's third form. Bought, we are using bought. What is the third form of buy? Buy, bought, bought.
Ma'am, bought.
Yes, bought is the third form. So we will use third form, bought. Then we are moving to the fourth basic rule, that is by preposition. We are using by here. Then we are saying, then we are using subject will become object. If we will change this I into object, what it will become?
Ma'am, me.
Me. I becomes me when it becomes object. And yesterday will be put as it is. Fine. Have you got this?
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubt related to simple past?
No, ma'am.
Yes. No doubt?
No, ma'am.
Now we are moving to simple future. Okay. Simple future. See, the sentence is, we are taking an example again. I am saying, I will teach you, or you can say, just a second. He will teach me a lesson. He will teach me a lesson. Now again we are going to the 5 basic rules. Fine. First we should identify, we have to change subject and object. We have to interchange subject and object. That's why we have to identify what is the subject and what is the object here. Fine. Here we are having he. The next is a lesson. Fine.
Ma'am, a lesson.
Yes. He is the subject and a lesson is the object. We are interchanging their place. So we are bringing a lesson in the starting. A lesson. Now, the thing which is the second rule, we have to follow the second rule. Second rule means bika form. We have to use be form. And here we are having will. Will is a modal also. Will is a modal also. Do you know how many modal, which kind of words are called modals? Yes. Which kind of words are called modals?
Ma'am, helping words.
No, you can say it can be called auxiliary verbs actually, as like can, as like could, as like will, would, shall, should, may, might, ought to. These are called modals. Fine.
Yes, ma'am.
So whenever we are having any modal verb, it is a verb also. Whenever we are having any modal verb and any modal verb active sentence is changed into passive word, passive sentence, then we will use be itself. हम उठाकर सीधा सीधा be लगा देते हैं उसके साथ. So what we are doing here, we are having a modal will. Fine. That's why we will use be itself. Be का खुद का use करेंगे यहाँ पर हम. Okay. A lesson will be. This one is completed. Second rule. Third rule, we are moving to the third rule. Third rule is verbs third form will be used. Fine. And what is the third form of teach?
Ma'am, taught.
Very good.
Taught.
Taught. Taught is the third form. Fine. Moving to the fourth basic rule. By preposition, we are using by. Then subject will become object. And
Him.
here we are having he. A lesson will be taught by him. He will become him.
Him.
Fine. And this me is left now. So you can use it to
Ma'am, to me.
me. This sentence can be done in a different way also. अच्छा एक बात बताइए. This sentence can be changed in a different way also. कैसे? Because it is having two objects actually. Two objects. This is also an object. Fine. और अगर हम इस ऑब्जेक्ट को सब्जेक्ट बनाते हैं, then how will it be changed? I. Me will become I. Fine. I will be taught. I will be taught a lesson
A lesson by him.
by him. This will become the actual. In these both pattern, we can change this sentence. So, this is all much for today. This is for today. We will meet tomorrow again. Fine. Bye bye all of you.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye beta. Have a nice day.